Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be tackling a rumble that we have on the back end of the Midget here. When we're in Wales on holiday, we realised that we've got a rumble when we come down from 60 to 50 miles an hour. It's a bit hard to describe the rumble, but I should be removing the prop and replacing both the UJs, all with limited tools, with no ramp and no pit.
And I'm going to help.
So last week I came up to the car to check what the problem was, and I could see that it was the UJs. So I ordered the parts, and thankfully they've turned up today or this week. So we'll get the car jacked up and get my overalls on. So that's the car all jacked up now, so next job is to mark the prop so we know which way it's got to go back on. Right, we just worked out a new method of following the Haynes manual and pulling the handbrake on.
Who knew that the Haynes manual would be right? Yep.
Right, now we'll see whether, if that's... Oh no, I think that one's run off. Oh no, it's rung off. Ah. Yep. Right. So that, thankfully, is the last bolt. If we remove that one, oh. That is the rear of the Propshaft released. A little bit easier to do these, because we've had these off before when we've done the engine and gearbox. The trouble we do have with these is kind of the limited space that you get in there, but right, 2 9/16 now. We'll get them undone, yeah? One of these where it's just one flat turn at a time, isn't it?
It's just being a bit patient and doing it, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
Hey.
In one bit, right. Now what I've got to do is clean these cup holes up so that these slip in a little bit easier than those other ones came out. So that cup has got to fit easily into there from this side. And as you see on this one, a little bit more damage on the edge, so.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. There we go. The other circlip in. Now what we're going to do is put this flange back on.
How's that feel now?
Well, I just wonder if that grease was in the way. Look at that, look.
Doesn't touch it, does it?
No, I suppose it's going to do it. Well, that can go to there, but it can't go to there. But I suppose how far does it go? Oh, well, you soon find out when it's smashed off, won't you? Oh, the other.
But it's supposed to be the other way around. That's half a job done. Even I got my hands dirty on this one. Time for some lunch, I think. Tidying up sequence 1.
So I'm back up the barn now, and I've jacked the car up and got it all safely on axle stands and chocked the front wheels. So last weekend we took this all off and refitted these UJs. If I put them up closer, where that's going to go out of focus. So next job is to fit it back on the car. There we go. A couple of things here. Now I've got the prop in. I realised I wasn't recording. But what I've done is I've jammed the prop up with a towel in the transmission tunnel. And then what I've done is I've managed to get one bolt in so far. So my marks have disappeared off the flange, because once we took it out we gave it a good clean up. So we're going to rotate this now, and I want to see whether I've got all the bolts in the right place. So we'll rotate this. That looks good to me. So let's see if we can get these nuts on. Another trick to use here is to use a 14mm spanner instead of a 9/16 ring. So that nut just sits in there quite tight. You can of course use a bit of tissue paper around it. I'm going to try this method to get the bolt back on there, in there. Put it on that crank. Help us line it up a bit. So that's all the bolts tightened. I'm just going to quickly go around them all just to check they're all tight. Now I've tightened the last one. So that's one. Two. 3. 4. So that's all those bolts tightened up now. So let me show you this towel, and then we'll get on with the back. So here's the towel. So we'll just get that out now. Might that be awkward? So that worked well. Right, so it should be a little bit easier on the rear here, because I don't know if I mentioned that, but my marks had gone on the front, but my marks are there on the back. So yeah, so let's get the bolts in. There we are. One, two, 3, Oh, right. Washers and nuts on. Right, let's get them as tightened up. Right, that's them all done. Let's just go around once more on each one and see that we've got it absolutely tight. So, oops, whether we can now see, but we now don't have any movement in that UJ. There's a little bit in that diff. I'm not sure how much backlash or whatever it's called you have to have, but we've eliminated it on that prop shaft anyway. So, gear stick cover back on and test drive, I reckon. Try and line those screws up again. There we go. There we are. So that's a bit harder than I actually anticipated. What with the cutting of the bolts off at the back there, the UJ's not coming out very easily, but we've succeeded. We've got the job done, and now I'm just going to get the jacks and that all out, and then take it for a run. So we had the problem from sort of like 60 down to 50, but whether I could replicate on this road, because it was more on like a constant, and maybe when the oil in the back, in the diff got warm. Another job to do there is to just top the diff up as well, so a little bit more around that, so more jobs to do, always jobs. So the traffic now has moved up to 60, so just holding it there at 60 for a minute or two. And ideal, just deaccelerate there. No sound whatsoever. No clunker to reaccelerate either, so sounds all good. So that's quite a successful job there. Albeit, as we said, we had our problems, had our fair share of problems with it. With the bolts, as I said before, the bolts, having to cut those off. Front ones are always difficult. Lucky really with that flange, lining that back up. Needed to have painted that, let that paint go off really, as I did the back. Yeah, and of course the UJs were difficult to come out as well. But there again, successful job. So I'll leave that one there. Hope you can hear me okay, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.